Retirement crisis in America gets real as financial stress is impacting people's health and sleep. Today, I read an article on foxbusiness.com written by Breck Dumas titled, "Inflation has majority of retirees worried they will outlive their assets." According to the author, a majority of retired Americans are worried they do not have sufficient savings to sustain themselves through the entirety of their golden years due to years of elevated inflation that continues to chip away at the value of a dollar. I'm going to stop here for a moment and share my thoughts. If these people owned assets that have risen with inflation, they would not be in this situation. The problem is, many Americans don't own stocks or real estate. Many rely just on Social Security and a small amount of money in the bank. That money just sitting there in a checking account or savings account is losing purchasing power year after year. Understand, I'm not being insensitive to this situation. This is a huge problem here in America, and I have reported about it regularly. My heart goes out to people who are struggling financially. Many people worked hard their entire lives and reached an age where they hoped they could have relaxed and enjoyed life. Many depended on the leaders in our country to make wise decisions. Unfortunately, that has not always happened. No one can point their finger at our current administration and blame them for everything. There are countless things people could point their fingers at, such as Nixon temporarily taking us off the gold standard, or Reaganomics, Clinton signing the North American Free Trade Agreement back in 1993, George Bush Sr. getting us involved in a war in the Middle East, or George W. Bush getting us involved in a war in Iraq and Afghanistan, both of which cost a tremendous amount of money. People could point their fingers at the leaders in charge when all of the money printing started during the great financial crisis in 2008 and beyond, or the leaders who kept interest rates artificially low for far too long. Let's not forget about all of the big corporations with executives and shareholders who have influenced government policy throughout the years, so the tax code is favorable to them, and so trade agreements are favorable to them. Think about all of the billionaire elite who love having cheap labor manufacture their products offshore and then sell those products here in America for incredibly marked up prices. In some cases, this enriches other parts of the world because they are able to expand their manufacturing base. This process often enriches stockholders and executives here in America at the same time. All of these things have had ripple effects that are still being felt today. Unfortunately, we now have an eroding middle class and retired people who are struggling financially. Now, some could blame people for not taking more responsibility in their own lives. Sure, you could do that, but I have more of a heart than that, and my heart aches for those who are struggling financially. I feel bad for those who made poor financial decisions when they were younger, when they should have been investing in securing their financial future. Humans make mistakes, and some are influenced by constant marketing on television and on social media. And not all people have had parents to teach them about financial literacy. Some followed in their parents' footsteps. They work, they come home, they crash on the sofa, they watch sports or some television shows, and then wake up and repeat the next day. Many never thought to seek out resources that could help them position for a better retirement. I'm sure there are people who sat through an orientation years ago when they first started their job and listened to someone talk about the retirement options available at the company. I'm sure some people were overwhelmed by that information, and they didn't want to act dumb during their first week on the job by asking questions. Some of these people started working and never pursued any type of investment strategy. I'm sure there are others who said they would get to that someday, but someday never came, and now they are too old to work anymore and left with few options. Getting back to the article, the author referenced a new survey of 2,000 U.S. retirees released by Schroders, which found 68% of people are concerned about outliving their assets, and just 44% believe they have enough saved. Now, here is what is sad. 1 out of 3 retirees surveyed said they are concerned that financial stress will affect their overall health, and 26% said they have lost sleep while worrying about their financial situation. I can understand why, because later in this article, the author said 47% of retirees said their expenses in retirement are higher than they expected. I'm sure some people who retired prior to 2020 thought they would be fine. Well, now they aren't. Now they are struggling to afford basic necessities in life and wondering why they ever retired. I'm sure some know it will be hard for them to go back into the workforce and earn anywhere near what they used to bring home. Prepare yourself for the most concerning part of this article. The author referenced Deb Boyden, who is the head of U.S. Defined Contribution at Schroeder's. I'm going to share two of the most powerful quotes with you. She said, "The challenges facing retirees today are further evidence of the retirement savings crisis." In this statement, she is saying there is a crisis. Many people want to ignore this and think everything is fine here in America. Well, for many people, it is not fine. It has reached a crisis level. Here's the next quote. She said, "In addition to eroding the spending power of retirees, inflation is making it harder for younger generations to save for the future. This is particularly concerning as the safety net of corporate pension plans won't be available for many in Generation X, Y, and Z." I'm glad she is out in the news talking about these things. More people need to hear them. I agree that inflation is going to make it harder for younger generations to save for the future. I was talking with a man in his mid-30s recently. He has never saved for retirement, but he said he wants to get started. He said he is thinking about contributing $50 per paycheck to his company 401k. He gets paid bi-weekly. I told him he's behind and he should probably contribute a lot more than that. I suggested he consider contributing a more meaningful percentage of his pay if he can swing it. I talked with him about how his company Match works, and I shared with him a 401k estimator online that showed how compounding effects of investments could result in a sum of money by the time he reaches retirement age. He appreciated the information, but I felt bad because he acted like no one had ever sat him down and explained how all of this works. I'm afraid someone at his company during orientation just quickly went over what's available. Who knows? Maybe that person at the company isn't even investing in the company 401k, so he or she may not have a clue how to provide new employees with more specifics. I really hope this fairly young man moves forward with retirement contributions. If not, he may end up as one of these people living in a vehicle or couch surfing at relatives' homes during old age. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read another interesting article today. This one was on ZeroHedge.com, written by Tyler Durden, likely a pseudonym for writers at Zero Hedge, titled, "McDonald's Admits Consumers Are Broke with Planned Reintroduction of $5 Meal Deal." According to the author, Gen Zers, millennials, and baby boomers have something in common. Many of them can no longer afford a Big Mac combo meal at McDonald's, following 3 years of McFlation, which has sent the price of some combo meals as high as $18. The author went on to discuss how McDonald's could relaunch the $5 combo meal deals. This new potential offering comes as Goldman Sachs analysts warned that low-income consumers are in rough shape and pulling back on spending amid mounting stagflation threats. Well, my friends, here are my thoughts. I hope McDonald's offers a decent amount of food in these $5 combo meal deals and doesn't just shrink portion sizes while adjusting the price. I have no doubt many Americans don't have the money for fast food anymore. Some are probably trying to figure out how to pay their rent next month and still cover their car payment and overpriced insurance. Others are probably wondering what they are going to do when they reach the limit on their credit card, which has been their savior to rely on each month for necessities when there isn't enough cash left over after paying all of the other bills. If you haven't yet watched my video where I counted how many French fries you get for your money at McDonald's, Wendy's, and Arby's, you should really check out that video. I'm a really frugal guy, but I still spent money to buy 3 sets of French fries just so I could create that content for all of you. Ordinarily, I would never do that. If I wanted French fries, I'd go to the grocery store and buy a big bag of potatoes so they could be sliced up and put in the air fryer. I could get far more for my money, and they would be healthier since I wouldn't use oil or salt. The video is titled Inflation, Shrinkflation, or Greedflation in America, and How Many French Fries Do You Get in 2024? I'll include a link to it in the description below. To make it easy for you, I'll just title it Video About French Fries. Check it out and let me know what you think. I'm curious if any of you have stopped going to fast food restaurants because of the high prices. If so, tell me about it in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.